everybody, welcome to the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G, here with Big Ricky VanAsselberg, owner of Rougarou Baseball. We're going to talk sports, which all of you know is not my specialty, but after tonight, it might be a little bit better. Big shout out to our sponsors, Triton Stone and Falaya Real Estate. Without further ado, Ricky, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Patty. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. When Casey told me about what was going on and what y'all had happening in the Baton Rouge area and what y'all got started, I knew how to get you on the show, man. So what are you? Who are you?
Well, we're a lot of things, I guess. We're a Texas Collegiate League baseball team. We play primarily in Texas and South Louisiana. There's no teams up North Louisiana. The league's been in existence for over 22 years. Actually, when I got into the league 3 years ago, I'd spent most of my career in pro ball. But a guy talked me into coaching one summer, and I fell in love with these college kids. And when we had a chance to buy the team in Baton Rouge and come back home, that's what we did. So we moved down here in November, sold the farm, I guess you'd say, literally. Moved here from Arlington, and now we're here just trying to put a baseball team together. And man, I tell you, it's been so awesome. So many people have taken us in with open arms and just been great. And, doing stuff like this and hanging out, getting ready for baseball seasons coming up. The players are reporting tomorrow, so it's getting real exciting.
So you said you played pro ball back in the day. What's your backstory? Where'd you come from?
Well, actually, I was raised around the Alexandria area.
Okay.
And went to college in Shreveport and then played a little bit with the Baltimore Orioles and played a little bit of independent ball, played in, Dominican, Mexico, overseas, stuff like that. So been a little bit all over, and then started managing in 2006. Managed for 10 seasons in the minor leagues and retired in 2016 and thought I was done with baseball. And man, God bless my wife. She taught me back into getting back into it because I was riding around the golf course looking at the horses and drinking beer, and she said that wasn't gonna fly.
You had to do something a little more active than that.
I was very active. I could tell you when the horse needed to drink and when he wanted to eat and stuff like that. And it was just one of those things that the good Lord put us, in the right situation. And it's a big difference between pro ball and college baseball. And but these kids changed my life, man. I'll be honest with you. I guess they say they refueled the fire, back how they want to win. They want to play hard. They enjoy the game. They're not just playing for numbers to get to the big leagues and stuff like that. So, we're all in, and we're here in Baton Rouge. I mean, what better baseball town could you be in than Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Oh, 100% with LSU there.
Man.
I mean, especially the LSU baseball fans. I know during baseball season, they're out there nonstop for the games and everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's our key. We hoping that the Tiger fans will become Rougarou fans. And, we got a lot of good friends out there that actually I've managed quite a few guys that played for LSU, Greg Smith, Micah Gibbs, me and Warren Morris are real good friends, Ronnie Rance. So I got a real good ties to LSU and a lot of guys that just love baseball. And actually all them guys have came in to support the Rougarou and put us in the right position to meet the right people. And it's baseball, and it's summer baseball, and it's college players. It's, players from all over the country, from all different colleges. And the only problem was, we got in here late. So most of the players from LSU and from Southeastern and stuff like that, they were already placed. Those players usually get placed like in September.
Okay.
So we didn't get the team till November. So it's been real hard, finding local players. So what we decided to do, we went outside the box. So we started looking at teams that wasn't in this area. For example, like at LSUE, the junior college over in Eunice, they had a couple kids that went to Catholic High and went to Denham. We signed Ben McDonald's son. So what we did, we started trying to find guys that were going to school away from Baton Rouge to bring them home so their families could see them play.
Yeah.
Because if a kid goes to school in Alabama and their family lives in Baton Rouge, they might get to see them play, 2 series a summer. I mean, a winter or fall, spring, whatever it is. But if you bring them home in the summer, then they get to spend time with their family on the off days. Their family gets to come, see them play. And and just be in the community. I mean, we do a lot of stuff in the community. We've been.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been seeing y'all all over the place in the last couple of days.
Everywhere. We've been, how they say it, Maupaul?
Maripol,
yeah. So we went down there, made some good friends down there. We've done several different golf tournaments. We've been to Gonzales. We've been to Prairieville. We're doing all kinds of stuff in the community. And so these kids, when you get to tell these people around that these guys are coming home to play summer baseball, and they're so excited to come home play in front of their family. Their grandmas are going to get to see them, their grandpas, their uncles, their aunts, their cousins. And that's what it's all about. At the bitter end, it's about the kids. It's about, people that love baseball in the community and stuff like that. We got so much stuff going on in the community. I could sit here and talk forever.
Well, I mean, we'll get to a lot of that, but I want to learn a little bit more about the Texas League. What exactly is the Texas? Because when I think of baseball, I think of while they're at the university, they're playing during the season, and then you have summer. So I knew of high school summer ball, but I didn't know that was something in college that took place.
Yeah, so what happens is these kids, when they're freshmen and sophomores, they don't get a lot of playing time, most of them.
Yeah.
So
especially during the season,
right? So what they did, they started creating these collegiate summer leagues so these younger players could go play and get extra at bats and get ready for the fall season when they go back to school. So a kid might get, say, 10 of 20 at bats as a freshman at Arkansas. Well, he'll come here and he'll get 100 at bats for the summer. So when he goes back in the fall, he's ready to go. So he's getting more reps, more teaching, more coaching. Same way with pitchers. You get a pitcher that comes in here, especially like a redshirt freshman, he ain't thrown since he was a senior in high school. Especially competitively. So, you bring them in here and they just basically get more reps. And then the fun part about it is you bring in kids from all over the country, just like you would at a college or in pro ball. They might be from California and one might be from Arizona and one might be from New York and we got one from Hawaii. It's just,
oh, wow.
So you put them all together and then you start seeing them gel and then they get to play and then, hey, it's summer baseball, but they're still playing for a championship ring. And at the end of the day, they're out there competing and they're learning and they're getting better. And so that's what they started doing with the summer collegiate leagues. And because a long time ago, it was mainly just the Cape Cod League and the Northwoods League and I think the Jayhawk League that was back when I played. But now they got probably 6 or 7 different leagues out there. And I'd say we're in the top 3 for sure.
Okay. And so it's focusing more on the individual athlete as opposed to a team as a whole, I guess?
Well, pretty much when it comes from the college coach's standpoint, it's about his player.
Okay.
But when they get here, it's just human nature.
Yeah, it's a team. Yeah, it's a team sport for sure. But if a coach is saying, "Hey, go play for Rougarou," they're wanting to make sure that specific athlete stays active during the summertime.
Correct. And a lot of times they'll tell you, hey, I need to get him 30 innings this summer, so you do whatever you got to do to get him 30 innings. And sometimes they'll be like, hey, we only want him to pitch 15 innings. So you don't want to throw him 15 innings in the first month because then he's done for the next 2 months. So it's a lot of strategy that goes into it. It's exciting and teaching and it's way different than what I've ever managed before. But
right. Because for a normal school league for during like for example LSU season, they're focused on that season right there, that season alone,
right?
And they're trying to get the team as good as they can,
right?
But then when it comes to summer league, they're wanting they're people like you said who didn't have as many at bats or as many as much play time to actually get that play time outside of a regular practice, right? Because they can practice all day with their team, but it's not the same as playing it competitively. And then you throw in people who aren't your teammates, and now you got a whole scramble of kids going, and now they're actually playing real baseball. Yeah,
they're out there competing, and they're playing in front of 1,000 people in front of fans.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's basically they're getting out there, and they're getting the coaching and the teaching, but they're also getting to play live baseball, something that they didn't get to do a lot of, as a freshman or a sophomore, and then it becomes so exciting because the fans come in there and hey. We have a big thing with the host families, and so these kids go out and they'll live with these families in the community.
Okay.
and so now these host families fall in love with these kids, and I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again. They'll be going to their graduations, they'll go to their weddings, and it just comes.
And it builds that community, right?
Yeah, and the whole community gets involved. So now, they're coming out to the games and they're cheering for somebody that they know personally. You know, hey, that's my kid, that's my boy, you know. And then next thing you know, 10 more people come, and then 10 more, and then they telling, you know, Uncle Johnny over here, yeah, you ought to come see Seth because he was at the barbecue that Sunday. And that's how it gets into the community. And they go to these kids' travel ball games, and our players, they're just all out in the community, and that's what it takes to make our organization special, because at the end of the day, it's about baseball, but it's about changing these kids' lives.
Yeah, and I was going to get to that as what happens logistically with the kids. Like you said, y'all are bringing them in from everywhere. A kid like y'all said, you got a kid from Hawaii on the team. So if his family's not here, what does that look like for that kid?
So that kid will come in and he'll live with a host family, and they'll provide him a bed and a room, and they'll give him a washing machine. He'll wash his own clothes.
So he'll just live with them. And how do y'all go about finding those specific families?
Oh man, so we have a thing on our website you can go to and check out the host family program that we have, and you fill out a questionnaire, and we make sure that, you know, there's nobody out there wanting to put them in handcuffs, I guess you'd say.
Right.
But and we call them and we kind of interview them and we talk to them and we try to put the best kid with the best fit. Most of the time they'll keep a couple kids because it gives them, you know, somebody to hang out with, you know, when they're by themselves, because most of the time the parents are working and the guys wake up alone, and then they'll go to the gym. So a lot of times host families keep 2 kids, and I can tell you I've never had one family not be happy or not be so excited about. I mean, I can tell you right now, 99% of them will cry like children when them kids leave to go back to college.
I mean, they get that so much time with them during the summertime. I mean, they don't have to worry about schooling unless they're taking summer classes, I guess.
Right.
But for the most part, it's just sports. I mean, just baseball and coming back home and hanging out.
Right,
yeah.
Right. We honestly, a true story. Me and my wife, our first host kid was Xavier Moore that plays at Southern University, and he called me when we were in Texas, and I was like, all right, yeah. Well, the coach called me and said, hey, he can really swing it. And I was like, really? And he's from Louisiana, and I'm in Texas, you know, and I was tired of getting beat in Texas. I wanted some Louisiana boys over there. So I told my wife, I said, look, this kid needs a host family, and we're out of host families. You think we could keep him? And she's like, oh, I don't know about that. You know, she's never done that. And I was like, look, you know, he don't have nowhere to go. I said, but I guess I'll call and tell him he can't play. You know, he just had a death in the family, but it'll be. She was like, you call that baby and tell him to come on. Well, we drove to Shreveport to pick him up, and he gets in the car, and my wife's like, Xavier, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. And he was like, I ain't lost nobody. And I was like, oh, God. She looked at me. I said, I promise you, somebody passed away sometime in his life. So there's a
little coercion there.
But we got him, and he's been with us for 4 years now.
That's incredible.
And that year we hosted 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my wife fell in love with it. She loves taking care of them boys. And, I mean, I call them boys. They're young men. But to me, they're just – and they just, like I said, they changed their life. That's why we decided to buy the Rougarou and come to South Louisiana and be at home, and we're basically where we belong.
So what was that kind of process like? I mean, you're buying a baseball team, right? So what all went into that, you know, deal, that transaction to make it happen?
So what happened? COVID, basically. Okay. COVID, really? Yeah, COVID happened. Man, that Bud Light's good, by Mockler Beverage Company. So what happened was COVID hit, and I was actually coaching over in Lafayette. And the guy that owned the team in 2019, they got here like a month before the season started, because in 2019 we had a team drop out, and we already had the schedule made. So all the owners got together and was like, look, we got to put a team on the field somewhere so we don't lose no games, because that's a lot of money out there. So Baton Rouge was the perfect place. So they just threw a team together, and they came down here, and they were all from Texas, a great group of guys. And then COVID hit. So he contacted me because he knew, you know, that I wanted, if I was going to do it, I want to do it. I want to be fully in. Well, let me rephrase it. My wife did. So he called, and he asked if we was interested, and I was like, no, I'm good. And then he kept on. He asked me probably 2 or 3 times during the season.
Wow.
And finally my wife had talked to me and she was like, when you opened up your first sports bar, did you know what you was doing? I was like, not a chance. And she's like, what about when you opened your first restaurant? Did you? And I said, nope. She's like, what about when you was in L.A. writing a movie? Did you know anything about that? I said, no. She's like, well, then why won't you start a baseball team? You know everything about that. And I was like, all right, then let's do it. So we did it, and I didn't know nothing about it, and I still don't know nothing about it, but we trying to make it work.
I love that. So wait. You just said 3 things I didn't know about you. You had a sports bar,
Yeah.
a restaurant,
Yeah.
and you directed a movie.
Well, I didn't direct it. I co-wrote it.
Okay, let's start with the sports bar. What was it and where was it?
It was Big Rick's Sports Bar and Grill in Alexandria, Louisiana. Go A-Town.
Love it. Love it.
And then I had Big Rick's Home Run Cafe in Shreveport, Louisiana. And then I had Burger Bar LA in Los Angeles.
Okay, that's a big jump. Wait, so Burger Bar LA in Los Angeles was another restaurant?
That was a food truck.
It's a food truck. Okay, why LA? Why go from Louisiana to LA?
Well, I was out there. We was trying to finish up the movie, and the movie's called High and Outside.
High and Outside, okay.
Baseball movie. You can, by the way, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, $5.99.
So a little shameless plug there. Love it.
I need to make that money, brother. But so we were out there, and I'd had the lead actor with me for almost 2 years, and I was actually coaching in winter ball out in Palm Springs, California. So he would come in, and we would work with him, and we'd put him in some games, and I'd make him dip Copenhagen just so I could watch him throw up every day. You know, no offense against California, but he's a little pretty boy. Actually, he's from Chicago, but
okay.
Good dude, one of my best friends. And so we became real close, and he called me one day, and he was like, man, what do you think about getting into the food truck business? He said, I know you know, in the restaurant business, and you're a chef, and you can do all this. He's like, won't you come out? We got to finish the movie. We got the red carpet coming up, and a lot of big-time actors in our movie as well. You know, Ernie Hudson, Jeffrey Lewis. So I was like, all right, dude, I'll come out there and check it out. So we went out there. We finished up the movie, and we bought a food truck, and we started selling gourmet burgers, and, man, it took off like crazy. And I'm from Louisiana, the real L.A.
Right.
And finally I was like, look, man, I love L.A., but I got to get back to my L.A.
Yeah.
So he took the food truck over, kept it going, and I think they still rolling today.
Really?
Yeah. So
how long ago what was the year?
Let's see. That was in 2017, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
So you had 2 restaurants and a food truck at the same time?
No, I couldn't. Ain't no way. So had the sports bar in 2000, opened it in 2007. And the restaurant opened up in 2010. And the food truck opened up in 2000, I think 16 or 17, somewhere in there.
Okay. So you had these 3 different restaurant concepts.
Yeah.
And then you moved back into baseball, but you were a player beforehand.
Right. Yeah. So so what happened, I played. So when I played, I was all over the place. You know, I'd kind of play it, you know, in the States, and then I'd go play winter ball somewhere. So when I got through with all that, when I started managing, I was only 31 years old. So I knew I was going to need something for a fallback plan, you know, like a retirement plan instead of, you know, I was only 31. I ain't going to be drawing no retirement no time soon.
Right.
So when it wasn't baseball season, I didn't want to just be sitting around the house and doing nothing. So, you know, I always wanted to actually, to be honest with you, the baseball field was right. I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't going to lie. So the baseball field was on one side of the street.
Yeah.
And there was this old condemned building on the opposite, right across the road. And I was like, man, I could make some money right there during baseball season. I could just have all the fans just come over to the bar after every game. And so we went in, bought the building, remodeled it. And so what I would do when the visiting teams would come in, I would feed them and my players for free over at the sports bar, because with them comes the ambiance.
Right.
And
their families and everybody else.
Oh, it worked like crazy. And then the fans would come. And so that's what kind of got that spinning. Well, then next thing you know, they send me to daggum Shreveport, Louisiana. I moved up a level. So now I'm in Shreveport, and I'm trying to run a business in Alexandria. And what I do, I open up a restaurant over there like an idiot right by happened when you come out of Barksdale Air Force Base, actually in Bossier, right on the corner, they had a lot. And I'm like, man, them soldiers, they coming out of there, this would be a perfect spot. So I went for it, and we remodeled it. And which when I say we remodeled, I didn't hire it out.
Yeah.
We did it. And
you had a crew come in and do it.
Yeah, me and my kids and anybody else I could find to work for cheap.
I love it.
I mean, I do got some carpenter skills, so that helped out a lot.
I love the tenacity and entrepreneurial spirit to see something that's missing that could fit in and take off, and then actually act on it. That I think is the best part. Because a lot of people say, oh, a lot of Air Force people come out of there might be needing food, or having a visiting team over across the street from the baseball field might turn out well.
Right.
But actually, getting out there and acting on it and doing it and chasing it is what I find amazing.
Yeah, my wife don't like me to get bored at all. Sandy Gill will tell you, she's like, don't let him get bored because he'll be into something. But to be successful in life, you got to take chances.
Absolutely.
And I tell all these kids, I tell my own kids, that's why I love baseball so much. It's just like life. You can be on top of the world 1 minute, and then you could be on the bottom in a split second, like that. So, with the thing with the restaurant in Shreveport across from the Air Force Base, them guys only get 30 minutes for lunch. So that what's a hamburger, taco, or something.
Something quick.
Yeah. So what I did, I put like a little, like we have all over South Louisiana. You could go in there and get a plate lunch, boom, 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 get a nice. And I had like 5 different entrees, 7 different vegetables, 2 breads, a tea, boom. You come in, get there, eat, get out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're not getting fast food, and it worked a lot. I mean, it worked real good, and then sure as shit, and what happens? They send me to Grand Prairie, Texas, and I'm like, my God. So
just when things get going good.
Yeah, but I think I honestly believe that's what the good Lord does. He don't. In my life anyway, he knew where I needed to be. He knew what as well as he let me do in the restaurant business and all these different things. It's all because of baseball is what brought me there. And it was the people behind me is what made me good. It's, like all the champions, I won 11 championships, and the championships I won wasn't because of me. It's because I had good players. I mean, I had good coaches. I mean, coaching, anybody that's ever coached anything, they'll tell you, if you win, you got good players. If you lose, you're not a good coach. That's just the nature of the beast. So when they moved me to Grand Prairie, I was like, man, what am I going to do over here? A taco shop or something? I didn't know nothing about Dallas, Texas. And thank God I stayed. I still lived in Shreveport, so I kept the restaurant, and I worked over there. And then when I finally got things going over there, I ended up in Connecticut. So,
wow.
Yeah, all over the world, man.
So you haven't even stayed put for very long anywhere.
No, that's why I was so excited to move back to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and actually be an owner of something. You control where people go, right?
I don't know, man. That's my whole crew over there, and they tell me what to do.
You just show up.
I just show up, and I tell them how good they look every day, and try to be positive. And I got a good staff. I got a real good general managers, good assistant general managers, great interns. I think we got 10 or 12 interns from LSU. 4 or 5 of them was with us last year over in Lafayette. My wife does all the social media and everything, and she's just amazing. And man, I really don't have to do that much. Yeah. Just try to find some players to put on the field.
So what is the mindset change going from a manager or a GM to an owner?
Well, I'm still going to manage the team. I'm still going to coach the team, just because I wouldn't buy a baseball team and have somebody else coach them.
Okay.
Because I don't think that would fare well for whoever was coaching, because I would try not to be too cynical, but I'm pretty sure I would be.
Yeah, you like to still have that coaching, that control ability.
I think it's just because I like being on the field. I love being around them guys. There's no better feeling than seeing a guy struggling and then you start helping him and you're working with him, and then all of a sudden that light goes off in his head and he gets it and he starts getting better and he starts getting better. That's what fuels my fire, And it's the same way with these interns. They're going into sports. They're going into try to be, some of them in marketing, some of them in sales, some of them in all kinds of stuff. Well, my ultimate goal is not for them to work for the Rougarou for the next 20 years. We want to try to get them to the next level, try to get them in pro sports, and get, we're just a stepping stone. I tell everybody, I want the Baton Rouge Rougarou to be a place to hang your hat. If you're here for more than 3 or 4 years, there's a problem. You know, not that I don't love them, not that I don't want them here.
Right.
But there's way more bigger and better things out there for them.
It's not built to be a lifelong journey for those individuals.
Right. Not for the young kids.
It's built for them to come in, become the best version of themselves they can while they're with you, and then move on to do something even better.
Correct. And I think, you know, Patty, that's why we, in my opinion, so crucial. And I think that's what we bring to Baton Rouge. I think that, especially with the people that are supporting us. I mean, you know all of them. I mean, anywhere from Gordy Rush to Mockler to, man, just everybody. You got Dirk Lockhart out in Denham Springs. I mean, I could go on and name just tons of people. But they want to see this thing work. And the way it's going to work is for the community to get behind it. I can tell you, we start opening up June 5th. And when they come out there, it's going to be exciting. It's not going to be your normal baseball. It's going to be a baseball game going on in the middle of a club. You know, we want it to be exciting. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I played baseball. Baseball's boring. You know, but we want the kids. We got fun jumps. We got, you know, water slides. We got, you know, tons of games that the people are going to do on the field and music. And we got concerts that we play. We got Paris County Line playing out there. Trey Galman's playing out there with the last call. I mean, we just got stuff going on. We just want people to come check it out, bro. You know, come check it out. We're going to have a good time.
And it sounds like, you know, the more and more that I'm listening to everything, it sounds like it's not just a baseball team. It's not just a summer league for kids to come and play. Yeah, I mean, like you said beforehand, y'all are so much in the community. You're building a community around baseball.
Exactly. I mean, for example, one of the things that's my project that I love more than anything I've done for years. So we teamed up with the Little League Challenger team in Walker, Louisiana. And it's kids with, you know, disabilities, you know, Down syndrome, autism. So what we do is we raise money for them for their program, and we bring them to the ballpark and they play us.
Wow.
So, yeah, they play my boys before the game starts. They play at 5 o'clock and they hit and we play and they push them around the base. They run around the bases and they're smiling, they're happy. And when we set it all up, they was telling us a story about a kid. His first words, he never said a word. His first word was on the baseball field was ball, because he was so excited about being there.
Wow. And,
you know, that's the kind of things that changed my life. And to see them kids, and I think my players get more out of it than the Challenger League kids, because if we would all just look at life the way them kids look at it, we'd be in such a better place. And it's just a great day. It's, I think it's June 29th. And they some good dudes. Them people Miss Teresa, Miss Tracy, and all them out there, they set that stuff up. And these kids, we try to give them everything we can because they deserve it, man. They just love life and they love playing, and the parents appreciate it. And it's just a great day. And my goal for that day, I want to put 1,500 people in there at 5 o'clock to watch them little fellas play, and the little ladies too, because they got some ladies out there to get it.
Heck yeah.
But man, it's awesome. It's an awesome event.
So, and where is that going to be?
That's going to be at Pete Goldsley Field.
Okay, and where's that at?
By Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium. Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and we're also doing traveling baseball clinics this summer.
Okay.
So instead of having 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, 13, 14, come to us, we're going to them. So we're going to Walker, we're going to Denham, trying to get one set up in Prairieville at, you know, their sports complexes. So the parents don't have to drive all the way into Baton Rouge for their kids to get a baseball clinic. So I'm going to bring all my players to their little league place, and we're going to give clinics for them.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's Baton Rouge at the heart of it. We were trying to better the community one day at a time, one step at a time, one kid at a time.
Right.
And that's what you're going to accomplish with the baseball team.
Well, that's my goal, man. And I tell you, we got a lot of people on board and a lot of people helping. So we're gonna do our best. That's for sure.
I love it. I mean, it's almost as if the players at the end of the season for y'all, they're not walking away, you know, better players throughout the sport. They're walking away better humans.
That's what I hope.
You know, you're building character within these kids. You're making these kids or these young gentlemen come in and then leave better than they came.
That's my plan. My plan is hopefully the good Lord can help me lead them in the right direction, teach them a little baseball. But main thing is when they leave here, I hope they're better people.
I love that. And so what is it like kind of running the baseball team as a business side of things? So we got the kids, but what from the business perspective, what has that shift kind of been like?
Stressful. Because you got so many people depending on you when it comes to, payroll and kids, that are sick and their mom's got to take off and then you got to step in and do that. And then, these days you got social media and all that stuff. Thank God Sandy Gale knows how to do all that because I'd be in a bind. It's just a lot of stress. You got so many people depending on you. And at the end of the day, you got to put people in the stadium to make it. And I guess I'm so fired up and I'm so excited about making it work. I'm a little afraid of it failing. But I don't believe it is. I believe that the community, just from what I've seen and had happen in the community so far, I think it's gonna take off. I mean, everybody knows. Anybody that knows anything about summer collegiate baseball, ain't nobody getting rich. We're just trying to change people's lives, and so that's the biggest challenge for me. I'm not very key on the computer, so I'm not very good at that. What I'm good at is trying to get people motivated to get on the computer.
100%.
So, is that a bird?
I think that's the back door is open or something. Or it's like cracked or something.
Like, my God. But, that's the biggest difference between being an owner and a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, just like when I own the restaurants and the food trucks, it's the same thing. You got to put a good team on the field. Same thing in coaching. If you put the right people in the right places, then you'll be successful. And I believe we've done that.
That's right. Making sure that they are where they need to be.
Exactly.
Not just putting them there to put them there, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, because I don't have to do it. I don't even have to know how to do it. But I need somebody that's good at it and knows how to do it. And I think that's what we've done. We got the GM we brought in, Chet Carey. He's been in professional baseball for over 20 years. He's been in pro ball with the Astros and the Texas Rangers and been in the minor leagues. And actually, I've worked with him, probably 10 years or so. So he's doing a great job, and our front office staff is great. And like I said, those interns, man, they're unbelievable.
I know, man. You got comments flooding in on the Facebook Live, people saying, "Love you, bro, so good, honey," and all that kind of stuff, man. So you got lots of love coming your way, Ricky.
Well, man, I appreciate it. I tell you, I couldn't be any more happier. I can tell you that right now. I've met some great people, some good friends. I mean, people just, like I say, they just taking us in with open arms. And I mean, shoot, last weekend we was out there I don't even know what river that is, but we was out there with Derek Shipley and them barbecuing and balling crawfish, and we had a big birthday party out there, and it was just supposed to start out like a few of us. Next thing you know, there's 50 people out there, and they breaking out the guitars and playing music, and I'm like, oh my God.
Turned into an event.
Oh, it was an event, brother, let me tell you. So it was, when you see things like that and you see people that, they didn't have to do that, and they don't have to do those things. Or when you walk in the grocery store and somebody sees the Rougarou shirt and they say something, then you kind of now we're getting out there. People starting to know about us, and the biggest thing for me one day I went into a store and I seen somebody wearing one of our shirts, and I was like, oh God. So that's what that feels like.
Yeah.
Before, when I was just managing or I was just playing, and I saw somebody wear one of the shirts that I played for our manager, it wasn't no big deal. But when you're the owner and you started it basically, and then you're building it, when you see somebody wear your shirt or your hat, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, and I think that, as any business owner, we got Amanda Howard saying, "Love you, big brother." But as any business owner, it's when you have that first moment of seeing somebody who you don't know directly, whether it's repping your brand, supporting your product line, or coming out to the field, that moment of clarity of what I'm doing is right, or what I'm doing people can get behind is so powerful.
Oh man, we had the meet and greet that you was at walk-ons.
Yeah, walk-ons, yeah.
And walk-ons. I mean, walk-ons come on board and got involved. Like, they just jumped on there, and it just took off with us. And just good baseball people. They get it. They were athletes. And so we go over there, and then I started seeing these people show up that I've met a couple times at these golf tournaments. And next thing you know, you see another guy show up. I said, where? Oh, I met him at this event, and then I met him. And just for them to come support you when they don't really know, but they want to be a part of it. And I think people see when you're really humble and you're really trying to do something to help people, I think people recognize it. I think people can see fake. I think people know fake. Yeah. And I think people know people that have humble hearts and want to change people's lives. And, I'm not doing nothing special that anybody else couldn't do. I just feel like the good Lord put me here to do this and to help these kids and to help the community, not just the kids that play for us.
Right.
But other people in the community, these other kids that need that. I tell you the truth, I got a call this morning from a guy that I played with back in '96, and he's from Houston, Texas. He's got a kid that's sitting over there, great baseball player, no home, nowhere to go, and thought he could come play for me. And I was like, no, is he in college? He said, no, he graduates high school. I said, give me his SAT scores and let me know what his grade point average is, and we'll get him into college. And he was like, really?
Wow.
I said, yeah, you send me that, and we'll figure it out. Not because I can do that, but because somebody stepped up for him. And there's so many people that people won't put their name on or help anymore because people are so afraid of getting burned.
Yeah.
And that's just not me.
And you can take that kid and, take him and say, hey, give this kid a shot, right? You can use your connections, your leveraging, and say, look, this kid came to me wanting to play ball. He can't without certain,
right.
Got to meet the credentials. Why don't you let him try out? Give him a shot to come play for your team.
Yeah, the thing about it is, you can take a kid that's hungry, and when I say hungry, that wants to learn baseball, wants to get out there, wants to get after it, and he might. I'm a prime example myself. I went to Oak Hill High School. I graduated with 19 people. If I wouldn't have had the right break along the way, nobody would have never seen me. I didn't go to a 5A school, nothing like that. And then I went to a small college, and I just happened to have the good games in front of the right people, and the right people stick their neck out for me and help me and be like, give this kid a shot. He come up, hard and poor and working, but he's a great kid. And they did. And I've always felt like I needed to repay that. And so when I have people that call me, if you was to call me tomorrow and be like, hey, I got a kid that I know, that's all I need to know, because my friends and the people I know, I trust their opinions. I trust their values. And everybody needs a little help, man, including myself sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And then it's also the willingness to help, right? That's when you start getting down to the nuts and bolts of who is Baton Rouge? What is right. Baton Rouge? It's people helping other people.
100%.
Right?
It's the best place. I lived here from 2000. Let me see. I retired in 2002. So I lived here in 2002 and 2003. And of course, my job moved me away. Well, my son moved down here and went to college at BRCC and played baseball there. And even after he left and went to the LSUS up in Shreveport, he moved back here. And now he works for Ahern Rentals, and he loves it here. He ain't moving. I don't care where I'm going. He told me straight up about 4 years ago, if I wanted to be with him, I need to figure out a way to get to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I laugh about it all the time. The good Lord brought me to Shreveport, then he brought me to Lafayette, and then somehow or another I ended up in Baton Rouge. And so that's how good of a town this place is. They brought my son here for college, and he ain't leaving. They brought me back here, and the people here they're good family folks. They love family gatherings. They love good food. They love good music.
Oh, they love good food.
Yes. Look at me, bro.
They might be able to, they got the skinny lens on, right?
Yeah, and hopefully they're dimming this green shirt down. But it's our new merch, 2021 Summer League merch, brrougarou.com. Get on there, buy you some.
I love it. We're going to link it all up. We're going to link it all up in the show notes. So from a player's perspective, what can they expect come and play for Rougarou?
From a player's perspective, they're going to come play. Our pitching coach actually has got some played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I was in pro ball them years. Our one of my other owners, James Ziegler, he's great. He coaches out in Arizona at a junior college. Good young guy trying to get his way, figure out his niche, where he wants to go in life, and he's doing a great job. So I think the kids are going to come, and they're going to get old school, middle school, and new school. So I think we even each other out. So I think they're going to learn how to play the game the right way, and I think they're going to learn how to take baseball into their life, and realize how it feels to be treated like family when it's not really your family. So that's what I think the players will get out of it.
And so what's kind of been y'all's, I guess, funnel to get players to come play for the team? What's been kind of the best way you found?
Other players that's played for me before, call them and see if they've had any players on their team that might be interested. And me being a pro ball guy, I really don't know too many college coaches. So calling my scouts and my friends that I played with, see if they had any connections in college. And then it just started coming in. And we got a kid here. And then, I seen where the kids at LSUE, I knew a couple kids over there. So I called them and that played for me a couple years ago. And they said, well, Jace is from over there. I said, I'll take you. I looked his numbers up, had a great high school career. We signed the A-Bear kid that I think went to, Catholic? Yeah, Catholic High. And then basically, then it started, filtering in. Okay, so the Rougarous got a new owner. And, like I said, players talk. And they started talking and started calling. And so coaches, scouts, players, but mainly, players, you're just talking to other players.
So when you're looking at these players and you're trying to make a decision on should we invite them or should we recruit them to come on the team, what kind of platform or tools are you using to look at their stats from previous years in high school and all that?
Oh, so, you can go on to Google and find anything. So what I usually do, when I find a kid that I like, the first thing I do is I get a character reference. I'll call his high school coach or I'll call his college coach. What kind of kid is he? Does he play hard? Does he, is he respectful? Is he not a troublemaker? Does he, is he going to listen? Because, we're only here 2 months, so I don't have 4 years to straighten a lot of that out. And also because they're going to be in the community and we're trying to change the community. Not saying that a kid will ever mess up because it's going to happen. Not saying that I won't ever mess up. I'm not perfect.
We're human.
We're human. It's going to happen, So that's the first step I take. And then, and then I look and see what we need. If we need a bullpen arm or if we need a second baseman, of course, I'll go on there and see what his batting average is. A lot of times I like to see how many times I like on-base percentage. I like to make sure they're going to get on base. I don't care if they get a hit or walk. If they on base, they can score. If they ain't on base, they can't score.
That's right. It was Moneyball.
Moneyball, bro.
Get
Moneyball.
on base.
Yeah, got to get them on base.
I don't care what he does, but does he get on base? Does he get on base?
Get on base. You can't score if you ain't on base.
That's right.
And so when it comes to that, if I'm looking for leadoff hitters, 2-hole hitters, when it comes to the big guys, 3, 4, and 5-hole guys, you just see what their power numbers are. I don't like guys that strike out a lot. I like guys that put the ball in play. And then when it comes to pitchers, I just want guys that throw strikes. Throw strikes, dude. Don't walk nobody. And everything else to take care of itself because it's a wood bat league.
Okay.
These kids ain't never hit with a wood bat before in their life, hardly. Most of them. In Arizona, they hit with wood. But everything else, they hit with aluminum. So if you just throw strikes, the odds are in your favor. And so we try to make sure the guys throw strikes. Now, we got some few projects this summer that we're going to have to teach some guys to get the ball over the plate. Play 17 inches, so you got plenty of room to work with. Let's just get it over it. But, that's pretty much what I go on when I start recruiting.
And is there any central platform or tool or hub with everyone's stats in it that you can access, or is that something that's missing right now?
No, usually, and for the summer league, you can go to Point Street. But so usually what I'll do, I'll go for junior colleges, there's a thing called JUCO baseball. You can go on and you can pull up every junior college in the country. Now, I'm sure my statisticians, they probably got a better way to do it than I do.
They use something a little different.
Yeah, I'm old school. I'll go to LSU and I'll pull up LSU baseball schedule 2021 and I'll look at all the players and then I'll go to Southeastern and then I'll go to Nickel State and then I'll go. So I'll look up all those. That's how I do it. It takes forever for me. If I look up a team, say in Michigan, the first thing I look for is see if there's a kid on there from Louisiana. Like I said, because I want to bring them back home and give them a chance to play in front of their families.
Right.
And but if that don't happen, we just trying to find the best baseball players because at the end of the day, we want to win as well. We want to put a good product on the field.
100%.
And we want our fans to come out there because, hey, it's Baton Rouge. You say what you want. We good people. but we like to win.
Yeah, we definitely like to win. We definitely like to win.
Yeah, that I promise. So it's a lot of pressure just in that itself.
Yeah. So kind of starting to get to the end of the show. We have a set list of questions we like to ask people.
All right.
I think I'm already probably know the answer to this question, but I got to ask it. What is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Run. Run would be nice.
So for those listening to this show, go check out the YouTube video or the Facebook video. Get some perspective of the answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just run would be nice.
You can get back there.
I doubt it. I don't know. Too many knee surgeries, back surgeries. But I don't know. I guess, all honesty, something I could do as a kid. Run, push up, pull up.
Be agile.
Be agile. Scratch my back would be nice. Yeah, I mean, God, man, there's a lot of things I wish I could do now that I wish I could do as a kid. Oh, man, what a tough question.
I mean, shoot, being agile, that's a pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good ask.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'd be.
All right. So, what are 3 lessons you've learned along the way? I mean, you've got a vast career going from playing ball collegiately, professionally, and then you've got restaurants you've opened, Louisiana, and the other LA, the non as likable LA for us down here in the South, right?
Yeah.
And then now you've bought a baseball team, and now you're the owner. So, what are 3 lessons you kind of learned throughout that path?
I'd probably say one is just like in baseball, just you got to have a forgetful memory. You gotta let it go and live for the moment. It's not actually the thing that you're looking forward to, like the big events. It's the thing that happens around the events. It's the moments. It's the people you meet. Number 2, it would probably go back into the friends and the family members that are not blood family, that you meet in so many different countries and states and stuff. And so learning to treat everybody, no matter where they're from, being from the South and going to California and going to Connecticut and then, going to Dominican Republic, Mexico, all those places, you don't realize how much you can truly love some other people until you get there and you meet them and you realize, everything you've been taught your whole life isn't what it really is, I guess you'd say. And the number 1 lesson is just always put God first and you'll be good.
Yeah, he's got a magical way of
he's
working our lives in a way that we don't ever even see.
100%.
Like you said, you thought you were getting somewhere when in one location, you got moved to another location, started something else, and then finally making all those paths back to here to Baton Rouge.
For sure, man. He's got a game plan, and as long as we stay out of the way, life will be good.
That's right. We're our biggest roadblock.
For sure.
So I know we've had a lot of discussions throughout this whole episode about it, but what is something you love about Baton Rouge?
The people. And not just the people, but how competitive they are and how they hold you accountable. That's my thing.
People can hold you accountable.
Yes.
If you say you're going to do something, you better do it.
If you can't do it, call them and say, hey, I thought I could do it and then something happened, but I can't do it. And don't use no excuses. They don't like that shit.
Just say you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Be honest, be upfront. Do what you say you're going to do, and I promise you'll never have a problem in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I think that statement right there of just not making excuses. Like if you said you were going to do something and it doesn't matter the reason, it doesn't matter the why. If you can't do it, call them and let them know. Don't let it go by and them reach out to you, say, hey, how's this going? Well, I couldn't do it. If you know it's not going to happen, let them know it's not going to happen way in advance. Yeah. So they can either make other plans or just know that that's not going to happen the way they want it to. Right. And that's the key with just be upfront with them because they, like I say, they're hardworking people, man. The people didn't just give the stuff to them, and that's the biggest thing we do at the ballpark is, and I stay on my front office staff, everybody. I stay on them. When you sell something,
I need a contract. I need this. I want to know. I'm not worried about the money, but if we tell them we're going to do it,
right,
we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just how I was raised, in which I was raised from people from the South. And that's just what I believe in. And that's the way people are down here. You just, and it should be that way everywhere. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. 100%. And if you can't do it, just, hey, be honest and be like, I thought I could do it and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I hope that don't burn a bridge, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and most people will be understanding.
100%.
Especially if you're upfront with them about it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not like, if after what you were supposed to have done happens and it didn't happen, say, oh, it couldn't happen, XYZ reason. If you say, look, can't do it before you know it's supposed to happen, they'll be okay, I understand.
Well, this way I look at it, if you give, my daddy always told me this, if you give somebody your word, that's all a man's got. And if you have to break that word, and you be upfront with them and be honest, they might not like it, but they'll respect it.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask.
100%. So, Ricky, what can I do to help, man?
Man, you doing it. You doing it, Patty, bro. Patty G in the house. Thanks for having us, man. This was awesome. We appreciate it. We look forward. Hopefully you'll be there. Maybe we should have a live podcast at the ballpark for opening day.
I'm thinking we can do something like that.
Yeah.
Do a little sports streaming, man.
Yeah, now that you're a sports guy.
That's it. Yeah, now that I know all about sports. The show will consist of you screaming at them and me asking what just happened.
Yeah, so don't hold nothing against me if y'all see me throwing some helmets or something out on the field. That's really not me. It's
the competitive nature of us, right?
Yes.
I get all that, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Big Rick. I really appreciate it.
Hey, bro.
Man.
Thanks for having us. Looking forward to the next one.
That's it. I'm looking forward to seeing Rougarou play some games and win some games and bring home those rings, right?
Hey.
There are rings involved,
100%.
Right?
I wouldn't be doing it with no ring. I don't play for no T-shirt.
Well, thank you so much, man, for coming on. And thank you, everybody else, for whether you're here in person or you are listening or watching this. I really appreciate it, as well as the guests. You make this show happen. You make this show be what it is outside of the bird chirping noise in the background. And also a big shout out to our sponsors, Triton Stone Group. Y'all, they are a local family-owned, woman-run business that if you need any stone selection for renovation or building your new home, whatever the project may be, they've got it carefully curated in their shop. Give them a call in Baton Rouge or any other locations, depending on where you're at, and tell them Patty G sent you. And also to Falaya Real Estate, a local app developed here to help you better sell your home, cut out the middlemen, decrease those closing costs, decrease all those realtor fees and everything. And they'll also take good care of you. Give them a call. Give Barrett Blondo a call over at Falaya. Let them know Patty G sent you. And with that, y'all, this has been the latest rendition of the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G, here with Rick from Rougarou. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all in the next one.